Beneath the labyrinthine vaults of the Moscow Kremlin lies a secret that has confounded explorers for centuries. Russia's legendary lost library, one of history's most mythical vanished treasures. This ancient collection of occult lore and forbidden knowledge has driven mad tsars, holy men, and conquistadors alike, with its tempting promise of harnessing sacred wisdom from the far reaches of the earth. Assembled in the 16th century at the height of Moscow's imperial expansion under Tsar Ivan the Terrible, the primordial library bloated with plundered relics of civilizations conquered by the Russian realm. The vaults teemed with rare texts, talismans, and artifacts pilfered by marauding Cossacks, from the arcana of Siberian shamans to the angelic visions of Byzantine monks. Desperate to decipher the magical power hidden within its contents, Ivan sequestered Russia's finest astrologers, alchemists, and mystics to study the troves. But the more his occultists delved into the esoteric library, the deeper into the abyss Ivan's soul descended. In his final maddened years, consumed by paranoia, he hid much of the collection in sealed Kremlin dungeons to keep it from enemies real and imagined. Following Ivan's death, the underground complex was lost for centuries, though some claim strange lights and chants still echo through its Stygian sunken halls. Today, the Forbidden Library remains one of history's most legendary lost treasures, a mystical wormhole to ancient heresies, dark prophecies, and secret occult knowledge later rulers sought to banish from memory. The library was initially compiled by Grand Duke Ivan III, known as Ivan the Great, who ruled Russia from 1462 to 1505. Ivan married Sophia Paleologina in 1472, who was a niece of the last Byzantine emperor. Her dowry included many rare manuscripts and books from the libraries of Constantinople and Alexandria. Ivan's son, Vasily III, expanded the library's collection. In 1518, the Greek scholar Maximus the Greek visited Moscow and was shown the library by Vasily. He was amazed at the breadth of Greek books, which surpassed even the libraries of Greece. But it was under Ivan IV, known infamously as Ivan the Terrible, that the library grew to mythic proportions. During his reign, from 1533 to 1584, Ivan aggressively expanded Russia's borders eastward into Siberia and southward to the Caspian Sea. Through these conquests, many ancient texts and artifacts were brought to Moscow and added to the library. While the full contents of the mythical lost library may never be known, legends tell of it containing writings and artifacts gathered from across Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Passed down through oral traditions and fanciful embellishments, these stories paint a vivid picture of the breadth of forgotten knowledge it may have held. The library was said to hold many precious texts from the great ancient libraries of Greece and Rome. These included original manuscripts of lost plays by Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, unknown philosophical dialogues by Plato and Aristotle, and the legendary lost second book of Aristotle's Poetics. Early Christian texts featured prominently, including the rumored long-lost Gospel of Eve, which detailed creation from her perspective, the forbidden Gospel of Judas Iscariot, portraying him as Jesus' closest confidant, and the Apocryphon of James, which records Jesus imparting secret Gnostic teachings. The lost library of the Moscow Tsars was rumored to house many rare books on esoteric arts, including the Egyptian Book of the Dead, containing ancient magic spells and incantations, the Emerald Tablet, engraved with the secret alchemical formula of the magician Hermes Trismegistus, and the ancient Mongolian book Ovna Nasr, said to wield powers of prophecy. From China, texts included the 2nd century BCE history records of the Grand Historian by Sima Qian, the epic 3rd century BCE poetry collection Songs of Chu, and the 5th century BCE military treatise The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Scholarly treasures of the Islamic world were said to be held, including the 10th century Kitab al-Firist Encyclopedia of Arabic books by Ibn al-Nadim, medical texts like the Canon of Medicine by 11th century polymath Avicenna, and al-Khwarizmi's 9th century treatise introducing algebra. Works of Russian literature and oral traditions included 10th century religious songs and stories of Kiev and Novgorod, woodblock printed tales of heroes like Sadko, Ilya Muromets, and Dobrynya Nikitich, and Chronicle of Ivan the Terrible, a mysterious lost account of his reign. Eastern works also featured, including lost books on meditation from the Vedic and epic eras of India, rare Zoroastrian texts in Avestan and Pahlavi from pre-Islamic Persia, and tantric manuals and mandala diagrams from Tibetan Buddhist monasteries. In addition to written works, various wondrous objects were rumored to be held, like celestial globes and astrolabes from ancient Greece and the Islamic world, alchemists' flasks, furnaces, and vials containing rare elements and formulas, and precious gemstones engraved with mystic runes and symbols. Shortly before Ivan's death in 1584, the library seemed to vanish without a trace. Ivan had become increasingly paranoid and erratic later in life, earning him the epithet of the Terrible. He was rumored to have concealed the library in hidden underground vaults beneath the Kremlin. Some believed he purposefully hid the library to prevent its knowledge being used against him. Others said he cursed it to blind any who tried to uncover its secrets. More fantastical tales suggested he was using its magical tomes to summon demons and practice the dark arts. The legends of Moscow's vanished repository of clandestine knowledge inspire awe at the esoteric treasures it may have contained, and distress at their loss. While its full contents can only be imagined, apocryphal accounts suggest it held profound spiritual insights suppressed by force over time. The global struggle for open knowledge endures today. If you feel called to journey with kindred spirits on the creative frontier, I invite you to become part of our visionary community. Sign up for our newsletter to receive insights on pushing boundaries with ancient wisdom and modern science. Together, let us illuminate new horizons and cultivate revelatory perspectives for challenging times. The most magical adventures still lie ahead as we unlock life's fullest meanings.